rescued dogs. We rehab them and train them to be emotional companions for disabled veterans.
Okay, what a great service you're providing for our service community. That's great. Tell us a little bit about your past, your history, and how you got started in this.
My past is I am a veteran myself with 22.5 years of service. I am a war veteran, disabled. The Painted Paws originated from having a senior dog that helped me connect emotionally back to reality with feelings and people. Not so much people, but with more into the canine. Allows me to express myself and feel like I can have somewhat of a normal life.
Now this is really to help a soldier adjust back to normal life?
That is correct. Soldiers with PTSD, often people want to tag it as just one element in their mental issues, and PTSD can be a whole scale and levels of emotional issues and behavioral health. Canines have a tendency to help veterans reconnect to not only people but to life in general. So it allows us to interact with our community, our spouses, and our families, which is something we disconnect from after the war.
And when did you start this up?
This originally started in 2013, January, was the idea. We formed the idea, and in September 2013, we formed Painted Paws for Veterans.
Okay, and I think I started talking to you shortly after that, too, yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah, all right. It just took us a while to get you down here from Cotopaxi, but it's great. I'm glad you're here today. Tell us about what you do at your site. You raise the puppies there?
Actually, we do more than puppies. A lot of people do want puppies. We do encourage young adults and seniors. They do make great companions. But when a veteran puts in a request through our website, we then go out and search all of our rescues and shelters. We find the dog that they wanted. We bring it to the ranch. We rehab that dog and bring that dog into a nice household companion for that veteran.
Okay. And I can see a dog helping a veteran in multiple ways, like you were saying. You have to get up every morning. You have to let the dog out. It's become a routine and something that you have to do every day to care for this dog, and it kind of brings you out of yourself, right?
Well, it gives you something to live for. A lot of times with veterans with PTSD, there's an emotional issue of depression and anxiety, as well as suicide, which is something a lot of people don't like to talk about. Having a canine companion gives that veteran an option for themselves to see that there is something for tomorrow versus not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So having that responsibility gives us a reason to get up every day.
We hear all the time the statistics very high in the military for suicide, very high in the military for PTSD and some of these emotional conditions that they're coming back from war with. And it's proven that animals do help, isn't it?
That is correct. And the VA now does have a recognized program for canine companionship. But I also want to state that it's not just war veterans with PTSD. There are other things and other programs out there, such as rape, and it could be male or female, as well as abuse and physical attacks that could cause PTSD. It's not just war veterans. However, war veterans are the marching standpoint to bring PTSD to light.
Okay, let's talk about you a little bit. You were in the military and served in the wars as well?
That is correct.
Tell us what about your service.
I served 22.5 years in the Army. I've served in multiple wars, OIF and OEF being the most current. I returned with physical injuries as well as chronic severe PTSD.
Okay. And so you saw lots overseas there.
I did.
During the war.
As being attached to a transportation company in the medical field, you do see a lot of different things, as well as traveling outside the wire and witnessing all the things that go on with war. When
you came home, you already had a dog to come back to?
I did. I had a senior dog who was in her 20s, early 20s at the time, recently passed away a few years ago, which then is what brought Painted Paws to light. Okay. So your rehab that you went through with your dog kind of sparked this idea with you? It did. And at Painted Paws, we have a sanctuary for seniors as well. So we have several seniors that come in and out of our program. My dog personally gave me the will to get up every day and helped me reconnect to my wife and our sons. So that I'm very thankful for, because I don't feel that if I didn't have that outlet, that in reality, I would not have reconnected to the living.
How many people have taken part in your program so far?
So far, we've had over 600 adoptions with veterans and veteran families. We have a huge amount of following on Facebook and in our group. We have over 300,000 veterans in our group, international U.S. And we also have on Facebook over 800 followers now for a new program.
Well, that's huge.
So we have a lot of great support for us.
Yeah. Now, is this Painted Paws, is it throughout the United States, throughout the world?
Painted Paws is really meant for the U.S., although we do support veterans that are from the U.S. in other countries and their families. So it's not just for veterans, it's for veteran families as well.
All right. So interesting. I want everybody to hold on right there. We're going to take our first break, and we'll be back talking with Tyler Warwick from Painted Paws. You're listening to Morning Line right here on KRLN. All right, and welcome back. You're listening to Morning Line right here on KRLN. I'm visiting this morning with Tyler Warwick. He's from Painted Paws for Veterans. In fact, you can go to their website, paintedpawsforveterans.org, and look up all the information there. I've got a little bit of that sitting in front of me. Now, Tyler, this is not just for veterans, but let's take it from the side of the veterans. And what will happen if someone signs up through your website or gives you a call? They go to your place up there near Cotopaxi. And what happens? How do you take it from there?
Well, it starts off with them putting in an application and requesting a canine. They can request a breed or size, and then we go find that dog. We bring that dog over to the ranch, which is in Cotopaxi, and we start the rehab and evaluation and vetting of the dog. Once the dog is cleared for vetting and ready for rehab, then we introduce the veteran to their new canine companion. They are allowed to come out to our ranch at any time. We encourage them to come out on the weekends and spend overnight stays with their new companion so they can get to know their companion and train with their companion. That is free for our veterans and our disabled veterans and veteran families with disabilities. They get to come out, they get to stay on the ranch, they get to see what goes on, they get to interact with their canine, they get to interact with the training so that they can then know that the dog that they're getting as well and make that connection and bonding.
And how do you train the dogs for this? I know you take older dogs sometimes, so how do you retrain a dog for this? It can be difficult sometimes, can't it?
Well, yes, like people, dogs are very stubborn and they come with baggage. We all have baggage, especially at this age. For our senior and older dogs, we take that into consideration. What we want to understand is dogs are very pleasing. They want to please. So if you're patient with them, a dog, you can turn around a dog and they will be that loving companion that you want. They just need understanding for their behavioral habits that they picked up either at a shelter, previous owner, or a dog that was just found wandering.
Do you also go through a training period with the veterans or the adoptee?
Absolutely, unless they're out of state. Unless they're out of state, which then we refer them over to training programs. So they can continue training with their canine in their state. But here on the ranch, veterans are allowed to come back at any time. We will then connect them with certified trainers outside our ranch in their current areas, such as like Denver, Aurora. We have some up in Trinidad. We will find a trainer near them to work with.
Okay, very good. We're talking a little bit about a ride, a fundraiser ride going on in August. Let's talk a little bit about that, and we'll get back into the ranch again.
Absolutely. Well, my wife and I are big Harley riders, so we love our bikes, but we are doing a fundraiser. It's Painted Paws' first annual motorcycle ride. It's going to happen August 23rd in Denver. I'll have more details coming soon. Kathy Valentine up in Denver is putting our ride together for us for the first annual ride.
Oh, very fun. Okay, so look for that in August.
In August.
All right. Now, up at the ranch, how many acres do you have? How many dogs do you usually have on site? Things like that?
It can vary depending on the situation. We have our own 2 personal dogs but total we have 6 therapy dogs which go to visitations for hospitals. Currently right now we have a new litter of puppies. There are 11 little lab mixes we call the Fab 11 from a rescue from the La Junta shelter.
Okay.
We rescued her. She gave birth as an emergency C-section. So we are hand raising 11 little puppies because mommy doesn't do well with them. So right now, currently, we have our 6 plus the 11.
Oh my goodness! So a big family up there.
A big family.
Now the puppies you'll adopt out to veterans as well?
We do. We have 11 of them. 6 of them are already reserved for veterans across the U.S. So we have 5 extra that are up for open adoption. They can go to our website and they can see which ones are available.
Okay, and anybody can adopt them?
And anybody can adopt them.
And how much do you charge for that?
For disabled veterans and veteran families with disabilities, the program is free.
Okay.
If they're looking on the website for one of our dogs, we don't charge anything more than what it costs us to get them spayed, neutered, and vaccinated.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it ranges between $100 to $200 depending on the dog.
Okay. And how do you support your services? Tell us how you raise money and what folks can do to help if they want to help.
We have a website called paintedpawsforveterans.com, where my wife and I make almost everything on that website. We sell those products and that supports our program, as well as fundraisers through our website.org, and on Facebook we do big fundraisers for our program.
Amazing. Now, are there other folks in the United States that are doing this as well?
There are a lot of different veteran programs like Dogs for Heroes. That's another program. We are sending actually one of our bully dogs from La Junta is going to one of their veterans. There is Freedom out in Denver, and there's a few other, one in New York and one in Massachusetts.
Okay, so this is a unique thing pretty much in the country.
This is, yes, we are doing it just about, well, we personally are not doing it, but a lot of veterans, and they are run by veterans, disabled veterans, are out there doing this because there is a realization about canine companionship.
All right, and how can people donate, or what do you need up there?
They can donate by going to paintedpawsforveterans.org. We have a donation button there. Or they can send a check. The address is on the site as well. We can always use little toys with no eyeballs or frilly stuff, toys, training toys for our program, blankets,
kind of like pull toys.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, good.
Especially with puppies, because you have to teach them right from wrong when they're getting ready to go to their veterans. So anything that's dog related, we could use.
Okay, very good. Now your mission statement I was reading, but it says here, I'm going to read this to folks. Painted Paws for Veterans is dedicated to promoting canine companion ownership for veterans and their family members, especially those suffering from PTSD, in order to provide emotional support and a way to reconnect to life both during and after military service. Their primary mission is to assist veterans and their families in the adoption of canine companions by matching veterans with dogs surrendered to rescues and animal shelters, and providing a visitation environment in which the veteran will feel safe. Their objectives are to achieve continued life for the dog, encourage emotional growth and self-expression for the veteran or family members, and to promote education of veterans' emotional issues and how canine ownership can assist through the unconditional love of a companion animal. That's a great mission statement, and it covers kind of everything that we've talked about here. One question that comes to mind is, do they often come back and talk to you, and do you do follow-up with the adopted parents of these dogs?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We get pictures every day. Especially, it really, you're successful when a veteran has left their home and they have their canine with them at a park or even shopping or something that they've been prevented from doing in the past. And that is what this program is about. We may not be perfect anymore, but we're still here, and our survival depends on the success of us being able to get out of our homes.
Okay. Now, your other website, I did check that out, but I wasn't sure if that was connected or not.
It is.
Okay. But you offer all kinds of things for sale. They're art, kind of art things, right?
Exactly.
Drums and things like that?
I'm half Navajo, so I make a lot of drums and rattles and native spirit things. My wife, she is also part Native American with Choctaw Indian, so she makes a lot of soaps and herbs and oils and teas. So all of that can be found on the website.
Okay, and all of it goes to support you and your endeavor, right?
That is correct.
Okay, that's awesome. We're going to have both those websites available to you later today on our Facebook page. You also have a Facebook page, right?
That is correct.
Okay, is it the same? Is it
It's Painted Paws for Veterans.
Okay, very good. We're going to take our last break, and when we come back, we'll finish up with Tyler Warwick from Painted Paws for Veterans. You're listening to Morning Line right here on KRLN. And welcome back. You're listening to Morning Line right here on KRLN. This morning we've been speaking with Tyler Warwick. He is from Painted Paws for Veterans, which is located up near Cotopaxi. And it's on a ranch. They raise dogs to help veterans adjust to life, whether it be from PTSD or other mental issues, and not just for veterans as well. It's for other folks as well, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And we've just been learning a lot, Tyler, about what you do, and I think it's very interesting. You wanted to talk a little bit about where you get your dogs from and the shelters that contribute to your processes.
I did. If someone is just looking for a companion, they don't need anything with special needs or anything, or they just want a companion, the places that help our program the most are the La Junta Humane Society. Jessica out there, she does a wonderful job in making sure we get matches for our veterans. Breeder Release Adoption Services out in Trinidad, Colorado, they are a puppy mill rescue. They also, when they get in new dogs, not just puppies, but new dogs, they always send us a list letting us know what kind of dogs that they have available, just in case someone's requested one. Fremont Humane Society, they work well with us when we need companions. Pueblo Shelter, the Denver Shelter, and a special thanks for the Aspen Animal Shelter, which we have a little guy named Stryker that's out there now that we're rehabbing. He's doing well and getting ready.
Stryker, huh?
Yeah, it's a military thing. So I wanted to mention them and give them a big shout out. The other way we get our dogs is our transporters that are all volunteers. Adrienne Young is one of our best transporters from Texas to Albuquerque. She's getting ready to go to Illinois with little Roxy, our pit bull mix for Dogs for Heroes. Our transporters work on volunteer basis, and they take our dogs all throughout the U.S. for our veterans with no charge. So we want to make sure we give them that big shout out for our volunteers.
That's awesome. They go all over the United States, it sounds like.
They do. We have them everywhere.
Do they even take any gas money for what they do?
Depending on the situation, if we are doing something for another program, of course we do fundraisers, because we are moving canines for other programs and not just our own. So our program can't afford to provide for other programs. So there are occasions when that happens, but 90% of our transportation is free. Our volunteers do it all for free.
Amazing, and it's great that you work with so many local shelters as well.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. Now, do you look for a certain type of dog when you are going to the shelters, or do they say, I have this, and how does that come about? Do they call you, or do you go searching? Or
it depends. A lot of times we can get the information that we need by the trusted resources that we work with, behavioral of the canines. Otherwise, we actually go in and handpick the dogs. If someone says, I'm looking for a lab mix, and we don't have it available, like the puppies that we have now, we'll go scout the shelters, and we'll actually do interviews with those dogs. We'll go in and we'll see if those dogs are trainable for us, or if we can work with them and rehab them. And that's how they come to the ranch.
They're going to have to start going to puppy school and learn how to interview, right?
That's right, boot camp.
Boot camp, nice. Now, how do veterans find out about your services? Do you go to Fort Carson? How do you communicate with the veterans on these issues?
We do have that for the Wounded Warriors program. We have contacts in there where we let people know about our services. Recently, yesterday, we were at Fort Carson in the DEERS department with the IDs and stuff like that. Of course, updating all your information. We leave our cards there. Hospitals or visiting hospitals like in Denver, the VA, we'll leave our cards everywhere and trifolds for everybody. We do attend events with veterans as well, so that veterans know that we're here and we're available for them.
Okay. Well, and we talked to you a little bit about our Memorial Day celebration. I'm hoping that you all can come up for that as well. That'll be fun.
I hope you ladies are listening. I'll be looking at you to bring our dogs down to the program.
Nice. All right, let's go over a little bit again what you do, and we're going to just kind of give a brief how you got started again. So in case they missed out at the beginning of the show, they know where you're coming from. Tyler Warwick is in charge of Painted Paws for Veterans in Cotopaxi. And again, tell us how you got started. It was a long time ago, right?
It was a long time ago. Well, it seems like a long time ago. When I returned back from Iraq in 2007, 2006 timeframe, I came back pretty messed up. It's not something most soldiers will admit either. We don't admit our weaknesses. You kind of have to pull it out of us.
Right.
My dog helped me come back to the living, and I will always forever be thankful for that.
I know, you had that dog a long time.
Yeah, I apologize. She was almost 25 years old, and I had her since she was bottle feeding, so that was the loss that allowed me to feel emotions, and I'm thankful for that. So,
and she also allowed you to do all this for all the veterans. How wonderful.
She did. She is the reason we do this, because that realization was that if a canine could bring me back to life, a canine can bring other veterans back to life, and that's what we're doing. Okay, so it's in Cotopaxi. Let me give the addresses on your website once again. PaintedPawsForVeterans.org is your information page for the veterans, and then also PaintedPawsForVeterans.com is the merchandise that you make and sell to help support this endeavor, right? That is correct. Okay. And we're just trying to spread the word and get it out there in case you know someone. Is there a phone number maybe somebody can call if they want more information and to talk to you? Sure. They can call me directly on my cell phone, 303-249-6347. If I don't answer, please leave me a message. Our home number is 719-242-3459. All right, and that is up in Cotopaxi. And are you open all the time? Can people come and visit and see what you're doing? We want people to make a reservation to come out, even if it's the same day, so that we know you're coming. And that way, the dogs that are in rehab, no one gets hurt when they're out there. But we do welcome people to come out and visit, especially on the weekends. All right. Come out and stay. And I'm pleased to know that you're working with Wounded Warriors, because they're setting up in Fremont County as well. That is correct. Yeah. Okay. And do you work closely with their during the week when they have Wounded Warriors at their camp? We don't work that close with them. We do have some of their trainers that are within our program. Okay. Training for dogs, and we stay connected that way with our trainers. Okay. Tyler, I want to thank you so much for sharing with us today and opening yourself up to us and letting us know what's going on. So many great things going on in Fremont County. And thank you for having us. Hey, not a problem. And we hope to see you soon, okay? Okay. All right, stick around for a moment. We're going to wrap up. This has been Morning Line right here on KRLN. Thanks for being with us today. And now we get back into regular programming the rest of the day. Thanks for listening.